Hello and welcome. You tune into News Now with me, Ankita Saxena. Well, Bangladesh has slipped into a turmoil after PM Sheikh Hasina has resigned. Army has taken over and is set to form an interim government. Multiple sources and reports indicate that Sheikh Hasina's aircraft is already in the Indian territory. To weigh in on the situation, we are joined by KP Fabian, who's a former ambassador. Hi, thank you so much, Mr. Fabian, for joining us on ET Now. Mr. Fabian, Sheikh Hasina has been considered a trusted ally for India despite the minor hiccups around the illegal immigration. What are the consequences of her ouster for the border states and India at large?
Well, let's first try to understand what has happened. I have here a list of 18 names which, these people are likely to take over as interim government. And the first name I have is Dr. Salahuddin Ahmed, former governor, Bangladesh Bank. Okay. Then I've got a former Foreign Secretary, Tawheed Hassan, and lots of other people. So it appears that a competent government of experts, a technocratic government is likely to take over, which is a good development. Now, as regards relations with India, well, to an extent, India had put all its eggs in one single basket. That is, focused too much on Sheikh Hasina. But I don't think that is going to seriously impact on India-Bangladesh relations because both countries have good, solid reasons to retain their relationship in a state of good repair for many, many reasons. I don't want to go into that. So I don't think we need to be worried about adverse impact on relations with India. But you please keep in mind what I said earlier, that we appear to have put all our eggs into one basket, but that doesn't matter anymore.
Mr. Fabian, so do you see the Indian government getting involved to help stabilize the situation in Dhaka? What are India's options? Even though we understand publicly the government will likely call it an internal affair of Bangladesh.
Well, the government has done the right thing. Ministry of External Affairs has done the right thing in saying that it is an internal matter for Bangladesh. But at the same time, I personally believe that India would have, what shall I say, done whatever could be done diplomatically. And when I say diplomatically, it is necessary to not to speak about it. You know what I mean? We cannot say that, we have diplomatically conveyed to Bangladesh ABC. No. In this situation, if we have conveyed something, it should remain confidential for a while. And it is for India, we want stability, political stability in Bangladesh. We don't want a situation of civil war. But as I said, if the interim government I mentioned about earlier is going to take place, that's a very good sign.
Right, right. So, Mr. Fabian, the last election was largely boycotted by a Bangladeshi opposition. How did Sheikh Hasina fail to estimate the level of disgruntlement on ground?
Well, let me put it this way. There is a general impression in Bangladesh and also among those in India who have been following Bangladesh, the last election was not a proper election. You mentioned the opposition had boycotted it, but they boycotted it because they felt it was not going to be free and fair. So it was a bit of a rigged election, and she herself was very, very unpopular. And you know that there are serious corruption allegations, not so much against her, but her, what shall I say, entourage, those who are close to her, and also the youth unemployment. So all this, combined made it a situation which was very inflammable, And she has done the right thing by resigning and getting out of the country, because there could have been violence against her if she had remained in Bangladesh.
Right. So, Mr. Fabian, lastly, will the global pressure, move swiftly? Can Bangladesh military be forced to cede way for elections at the earliest, or is the country headed for a long period, a long spell of turmoil?
No, as I said earlier, what I have been told is that a civilian government is being formed, and I have the list here, 18 people, as I said, headed by the former governor of the central bank. Okay? And if such a civilian government, which I would call a technocratic government, is formed, and if that government prepares for a free and fair election, that is the best way out.
Right, right. Mr. Fabian, thank you so much for joining us and taking the time out and weighing in on the matter. Well, moving on to another, war-torn, state of affairs that's been happening globally, in fact. But back in the Middle East, U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken has warned G7 counterparts of possible Iran-led attack on Israel. This warning comes after escalating tensions in the Middle East after the assassination of key leaders of Hezbollah and Hamas. Blinken said that the U.S. is working to de-escalate the situation. However, Israel's PM Benjamin Netanyahu said in a cabinet meeting yesterday that Israel is already in the multi-front war with Iran and its allies.